State had some of the best rush ends in the Big Ten
Yep.
coming into that game. How do you think you guys, as tackles, but also just the entire offensive line, handled that?
I think we handled it well. I think as tackles, me and Josh did pretty decent. Still a lot of things to work on. Going against elite players, you're not going to fit them up every single time. You're not going to get them on their right outside pad tip and lock them up and squeeze them. Maybe 1 out of 15 times that they pass rush. But, yeah, I think the offensive line did pretty well.
It feels like sometimes the Marvin touchdown,
Yeah.
right, late in the game, that's a route, right, where he's got to get all the way across the field. That's going to take a little time
Yeah.
to develop. And again, it felt like, okay, like you guys got to hold up there, and you held up. Like, just what's it like on a play like that when you know this is not getting out of Kyle's hand right away? You've got to maintain something.
Yeah. I mean, we get the signal in. Signaling, it's a long protection. But just for me, it's mainly just holding my guy up so Kyle can get the ball out and get it to the best wide receiver in the country. So other than that, I really don't have anything else with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just long protection, hang in there. Even if you're not fitting up, like I said, perfectly, like just hang in there and push them by.
Josh, when you see Kyle throw for as many yards as he did, with you guys' protection against that pass rush,
Yeah.
what does that feel like for an offensive tackle?
It feels good. I still watch the film and I get a pass rush and I got beat, but I ran him by at 10, 11 yards. I still get frustrated with that stuff, but at the same time, I think it's gratifying because you go against JT, you go against Jack, you go against these pass rushers that are elite, and knowing that you're going to get to work every day, and then obviously just trying to get it done.
And when you guys seem like you were getting a pretty decent push up front. You see the stat sheet, there's only 79 rushing yards out there. Did it feel like you guys had more?
For me, I'm not really looking at the rushing yards because I didn't know this, that if like Kyle takes a sack or if it's like a backwards pass or something and Marv gets back, that counts towards the rushing yards too. I didn't know that. I thought rushing yards was he hands it off to the running back and the running back goes. I didn't know that was rushing yards. Yeah, I didn't know that, but yeah, it's
So it did feel like more.
yeah, it did feel like more, but at the same time, like in those matchup games, like you're not gonna rush for 250 yards because you're playing against an elite defense. So,
Josh, with the rushing game, just sort of in general, Donovan was talking about this last week, and Coach Fryar a couple weeks ago, just like simplifying some things and maybe getting into some more plays where that perhaps you guys are most comfortable with.
Yeah.
How's that process going over the last few weeks?
I think it's going good. I think when a player says, "Man, I got this play down, like I can run it comfortably," I think that's the key for the whole offensive line is like, all right, we know what we're doing, like let's just roll. And I think that's the main key for the offensive line.
You guys didn't do sorry.
No, you're good.
You guys didn't do a ton of the counterplay last week, but Purdue, you ran quite a bit. You and Matt getting out there pulling together. Just
Yeah.
like, what's that like when you see those calls come in and you know they're gonna get you out the space like that?
It's kind of cool, but at the same time, like I'm so locked in on like, all right, this counterplay. I'm not gonna go into detail about it, but got to get around. I gotta look for the second guy. There's a lot of things going through my head. Like if Matt gets logged, I go around. I take the second guy. If Matt kicks him out, I go inside. I look for the second guy. There could be a blitz where he's coming to the B gap. I got to take him. So like, there's a lot of processing going through that. But at the snap of the ball, you just gotta render all that and then be like, all right, good, go. And it's really what I'm thinking through the play. So.
I know you guys do a bunch of different stuff in the run game. I'm just curious, like, where does that play rank for you in terms of things you like to run the most? Because it does seem like you get better and better at it each time you guys call it.
Yeah, obviously I think all the run calls I like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have a particular one, but the counter plays are fun to get out and show your athleticism to basically TV. So.
Does every offensive lineman in the world like a run play better than a pass play?
I don't know. If you're talking about Joe Thomas, he's a pretty good pass protector. I mean, he was a really good run blocker, but I think he liked pass protecting more. getting in his older years because he knew it was easier for him. But I think a lot of offensive linemen and their mentality is we want to run the football and we want to run it hard. So
Is that because you get to be more aggressive in that?
yeah, I mean, if it's weird, it's a weird mix with trying to be aggressive, run off the ball, because you don't want to run off the ball, duck your head, and the guy swims you and beats you inside. So like, it's a weird balance that you have to have in the run game, because you can't be off balance and you can't be too on balance where you're getting pushed back. So yeah.
You seem to always smile when you talk about football when you come here and discuss this. Like, how much are you enjoying the role that you're playing on this team this year?
I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy coming in here, seeing the guys, seeing the coaches. I think football in general makes my life a lot happier than not having football in my life. So,
I mean, everybody on this team matters,
Mhm.
right? But you're in a spot now where you are able and asked to contribute more than you were
yeah.
earlier in your career. Just what's that like as you're walking around in your life and you're a starter at Ohio State?
I think it's special. But at the same time, like, I can't get too big-headed and be, oh my God, like I'm a starter. I got to do this, this, and this. Like I try to simplify it as best I can and try to, okay, this pass play, I'm pass blocking that guy. That's it. Like, I don't try to think about any other outside besides that. So.
Josh, a couple weeks ago, we sat Justin Price up here, and they told us that there was some simplifying that was going on, kind of like what he asked with Donovan.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you guys have been more aggressive getting to the second level since the simplifying happened?
Yeah, I think so. I think you always, like I said, you always want to be aggressive, but at the same time, you don't want to be too aggressive where you're off balance. And I think creating double teams is a good thing too when you're running like a zone scheme, counter scheme, whatever. You create double teams on the line and you're going to get movement and you're going to get that knockback to get to the second level.
Josh, going up to Wisconsin, they have a jump around tradition.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to see what this is all about.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've visited Wisconsin. It was a great place, great atmosphere. Yeah, I'm excited to see the jump around in the third quarter. I'm excited to see the start of the game. I like away games. Silent count I don't like, but I got to deal with that. So, yeah.
Were you there for an actual game
Last
or
couple questions.
when you visited?
No, I went when it was middle of winter, and me and my dad were driving, and Madison was in between the two lakes, and we saw people ice fishing. It was really cool to
Yeah,
see that.
Kirsten Hisman, he came this way. So
Yeah. You never really see people ice fishing like that, and you're like, are they gonna fall in? Like that was what I was thinking. So.
Hey, Josh, really quickie, just the last couple of games, especially, but the last game, there were many instances where you could see the offensive line just coming off as one.
Mhm.
I mean, how long have y'all worked at? You know what I mean? Obviously, you
Yeah.
always work at that, but do you
Yeah.
feel like something's really coming around with this group at this moment?
Yeah, I think it was just like Coach Fry said. I think simplifying a lot of things makes our lives easier, because if you complicate things too much, you start overthinking. You start not rolling off the ball. Yeah, so I think what Coach Fry had done with the simplification of it was really good.
Hey, Josh,
You talked about going silent,
I'll go.
Go ahead.
the communication factor, and I know you talked about that early in the year. Like,
Mhm.
that's different on the road. It's different in a situation
Yeah.
like this. Like, how much more confident are you that you guys have worked through some of those issues and can handle that in this environment?
Yeah, well, the start of the silent cadence was Notre Dame, because we knew it was obviously going to be a loud, a 7:30 game. That's when the first time I really had to focus on it, and it's it's actually easier once you get the rhythm down, and but at the same time, you can't have a rhythm to it where the defensive guy knows what's coming. So it's like I said, I think it's a balance between that stuff. So yeah.
how have you seen Kenyatta Jackson grow as a complete defensive end?
Kenyatta, he's got all the tools in the world to be a very special defensive end. I think he's grown in reading not offensive line stance, but reading the offensive formation. Okay, if he's lined up here, I know that he might do this, this, or this, so I got to do this. I think his development in his mind of the steps he's got to take has led him to play faster and more aggressive than I've seen Kenyatta play.
All right, Josh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, sir.